Hello, 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 and welcome to another live stream. Um, just trying to get this sorted. I think we've got. Do we have this correct? Yes, we do. All right. Just getting all of our ducks in order here. All of our ducks in order. I'm a little bit under the weather, so the stream might be a little shorter than normal, but we're gonna truck along anyway. We are live. I'm doing the post in the Facebook group. We are live. All right. Here we go. So I want to know, did you sail this week? Did you sail this week? If so, how was it? Where are you? What's been going on? What's been going on? I sailed yesterday. It was amazing. It was just me and Marine Hunter out. I guess a lot of the pro guys are in Puerto Rico, and it was logo, mast high, beautiful side off winds, just amazing, heavenly. It's crazy. Maui right now is wild. We have so many good days with just less than 5 people out. It's crazy what's been going on. It's I don't know. I guess thanks to the IWT and all these events, people are the pros at least are doing those events. All right, we got some people in the chat. So we got Greg. Hello, Matt, Tomas. We got Kevin from a very windless New Zealand. We got Harold as well. We have Jorg, one more session on the freestyle. Shove It training, got some air. Awesome. We're going to do a Zoom for the Shove It course. So if you're in the Shove It course, like Jorg is, we're going to do a Zoom for that, but probably once I'm back in Europe. So I fly to Europe tomorrow, and it's just too hectic to have done that before I leave. So once I'm back in Europe, we'll do that. So in the next week or two. All right. Tomas is saying no action in Cape Town. Harold just got back from El Medino and sailed 4 to 7 days. 4 out of 7 days. Pretty good, better than 50-50. El Medino is a tricky one because the Canaries are so windy, and I think El Medino is a great spot, but it's not as consistently windy as most people think when they think of the Canaries. Tomas asks how Marine is doing. So he's referring to Marine Hunter. Marine Hunter is an alumni from Windsurfing Masterclass. So she was with us in the very beginning. She came in our in-person masterclass in Denmark, and she was very involved in the Facebook community for the first few years that we're doing this. And we still are involved. And she won the World Cup in Silt a couple years ago. So that is one of my happy achievements, going from coaching Marine on the North Sea in Denmark in 2020 to her, I guess it was in 2023 that she won the World Cup. So 3 years later, after she did our North Sea masterclass, she won the PWA World Cup on the North Sea. So pretty awesome. And now she's in Hawaii, and she's been here for months, and she's going to stay for some more months. And I think she's loving it. I talked with her yesterday on the beach. She said she's having a great time. She does miss Europe, though. She says she misses the collectivity of Europe. The American individualism can be wearing. But Hokipa, pretty awesome. No wind, New Zealand. We've got Mike as well, sailed in marginal small waves. We've got Ragnar with ice sailing. Awesome. We got Suna in Denmark. Lots of work. Yeah, crazy. So Suna, I know you're involved a lot with the American construction in Greenland. I wonder if maybe it's all classified and you can't tell us, but I wonder if the current American political situation is shaking up your work, if it's good or bad. Curious minds want to know. We got Christoph in Santa Cruz. We've got Cedric Ola from Cabarete. We've got Rasmus as well. Hello from Hamburg. And Cedric just had 4 days in a row with 25 knots. All right, so Cedric is a sports scientist. He's coached pro hockey on the NFL. He's coach pro rugby. He's got a master's in sports science. He's also an alumni from our windsurfing masterclasses. And we are going to collaborate. So this is the big admin news before we get into the Facebook group. We are going to collaborate. Here, I'll load up the Facebook group because I posted it in there. So we are going to collaborate in Portugal this summer, teaching a course. I'm very excited about this course. It's a different concept for Masterclass. So the idea is to start your summer off right. So to make it so that you're set up to have the best windsurfing summer of your life. And there's two parts to that. The first part is fitness oriented. So you want to make sure that you are training in a way to make sure that you can perform to your highest level, that you can reduce the possibility of injuries, that you feel good. There's so many reasons to train well, and we know that people are busy. We know that most of us are getting towards middle age, and so it's not about training to be a top athlete, but taking those practices from the top athletes and applying them for someone who's maybe in their 40s or 50s or even 60s and wants to live their best windsurfing life, wants to prevent injury. So it's really exciting. Cedric and I have been talking a lot about this course, and it's going to be 3 days. So if you want to apply, here's the post in the Facebook group, and I will also put it on the Windsurfing Masterclass website, but it's not there yet. So it's going to be May 16th to 18th. So that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll do a 3-day intense program, and we're not just going to be talking about fitness. So the fitness is a big focus of it, but also mindset coaching. So mindset is so important. And those of you who have done master classes with me before know that I really like to focus on the mindset. And the mindset involves so many different things. How we train, how we think about training, how we think about windsurfing, how we plan our year, how we think about planning our year, how we set goals, all of the above. And there's so many tips and tricks that you can use to get more time on the water, have more fun on the water, and move towards a goal, which is a really satisfying thing to do. And so if you want to join this course, you can apply here, put all of your information in, and I hope to see you. I hope to see you there. It's going to be really awesome. And as a bonus, so the main focus is going to be on the fitness and on the mindset. I want to say one more thing about the fitness. So there's two aspects or three. There's a lot of aspects, but two big aspects to the fitness training. One is learning how to train, what's important to train, what you can do with your limited time, because I know you don't have a lot of time, to most effectively train. And then also learning proper technique. And so Cedric and I are also working on an online course. Not sure when that will go live. And that will have some of the information. But what you miss with an online course is that hands-on work with form. Because if you're training with incorrect form, that can lead to injuries. It can lead to less effective training. You really want to make sure you have good form. And so this is going to be great. Lots of people together. I think the peer aspect is really important as well. But anyway, as a bonus, I'm going to do a spot guide to Ginshu. So if you've never been to Ginshu, we'll drive out there. I'll do a spot guide, show you where to park, where to rig, where to launch, what to look for, all the things that you would want out of a spot guide. And so you can combine this with a windsurfing trip. If you just have the weekend, just fly out for the 3 days, do the course. But if you want to stay a little bit longer, you can, and you could even make that decision last minute if you have that flexibility. And then if there's a good forecast, maybe you stay an extra few days to catch that forecast. Ginshu can be really fun in May. I'm going to be a little bit flexible as well. At the moment, I'm committed to those 3 days, and then I might be able to stay a little bit longer. We'll see. And if we get a group together from the masterclass that wants to stay a little bit longer to windsurf in Ginshu, we can figure that out. But step one, if you want to join us for this 3-day body and mind masterclass, Start your summer right. Apply here. Okay. All right. To let's jump back into the Facebook group and charge through it. Here we go. All right, there we go. We are set up. So the application is in the Facebook group, and I can put it in the chat as well. Put it in the chat. So if you want to join, apply there. All right. We got Mark in the chat. Hello, Mark. All right, time for wins. I love this. So every month I ask what your wins are, and I love going through these. It's so much fun for me. So Kevin says his win is joining this group. Welcome, Kevin, and I am excited for you to get some conditions to put this into practice. Nick, longtime member and alumni from our online courses, is recovering from a broken ankle, and he's going to sail on Sunday. So that's today. Did you get back on the water? So he had a great wee session on a 5.0. Awesome. Then an hour on a 4.5. Stoked to be back. Whoa, great. We got John T said we did first proper landed frontside air. That's a huge milestone. And he still has to do a forward before he's 60. Stefan booked a trip to El Medano. Awesome. In March. Andre says still no wins. He's waiting for the wind of the spring to get out on the water. Greg did his first competition and he had a fantastic weekend with like-minded people. I love it. That's what competition is about, having fun. Here's some photos from Greg's competition. Beautiful conditions, beautiful down the line conditions. Greg, you're in the chat. What was it like competing for the first time? What were the challenges? What were the lessons learned? Give us a little bit more. And while we wait for Greg's response, we've got this post from Dom, and it's a clip of today's Windsurf podcast between Ben and Paul. He finds it inspiring that Jagger Stone, even though he's kind of retired, is still super interested. All right, so let's post this. So can you guys hear the audio? Can you guys hear this? Yeah, so if you couldn't hear the audio, I will tell you what they said. Basically, they're talking about Jagger Stone and how Jagger loves getting footage because then he can analyze it, to help him improve his windsurfing. Even though he is an amazing windsurfer, he's still looking for those little improvements. And yeah, footage. If you're going to take anything away from my teachings, it's that getting footage of yourself is hugely important. And there are a few reasons for that. One is you can then post it in our Facebook group and I can give you feedback. But the most important reason is actually so that you can match what you think is happening with the reality. Because the first time you see yourself, you're going to be shocked. You're like, oh my God, I look like that. But as you get more used to seeing yourself, that gap between what you think is happening and the reality disappears. And if you think you're doing something different than what you're actually doing, how can you make any changes? How can you improve? It's just not possible. So having that connection between the reality and what you think you're doing is hugely important. So yeah, footage. If you can get footage, that is the number one thing you can do to start improving your windsurfing. And it doesn't mean you have to hire a professional photographer. It also doesn't mean that you have to have the full GoPro Insta360 POV setup. You can have a buddy on the beach with an iPhone, and they can film a few runs. They can film a wave. They can film a tack. They can film a bottom turn. They can film a jump. If you have a little camcorder and you have some buddies, I know Joe in the group, shout out to Joe who organized the Cornwall competition. He bought a camera with some buddies, and they just take turns, take 20 minutes each to film. Everyone gets an hour, and that's so valuable. So valuable. Uh, and getting footage, and it can be, like I said, it can be iPhone footage or handycam footage or Insta360 GoPro footage. Doesn't really matter, but seeing yourself, super important. All right, so what are the lessons from Greg's first competition? He says he found it very exciting, and he was well on time and rigged, watched the conditions, uh, and he was behind the break by the time the heat started. Awesome. All right, guys, that is it for content in the group. Like I said, we are doing a masterclass in Portugal. It's a 3-day weekend focusing on getting your mind and body in the best shape they can be for the summer and beyond. These are lessons that you can take with you for your whole life. So if you want to uh, apply here. If you want to join, you have to apply. So apply here. The link is in the Facebook group. I also posted it in the chat, and I'm going to send this out as well if you're on some of my email lists. But if you want to join, make sure that you save yourself a spot. All right, Greg says the lesson he remembered from the group is do what you can, but don't try what you can't yet. Yeah, that's a really important lesson when you start doing competitions. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. Like I said, I'm not feeling great. I've got a bit of a congestion in my face. But today is my last day. I guess I could get on the water too. I leave tomorrow night. So I'm going to get sailing. It's already whitecapping, and I'm not sure what the conditions will be like. Yesterday was amazing. And maybe we'll get amazing today as well, though I think the waves are smaller. All right, guys, thank you for showing up. I will see you next week, Sunday. I will be in Europe then, and we'll go from there. If you want to join our Portugal Masterclass, 3 days, intense body, mind, mastery, you know where to